the one, the only, Benzion. Good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Iyun with Benzion. Today's daf is Benzion Sotah, daf Lamed Beis, number 32. A great share for you today. I want to talk, the Mishnah, the first Mishnah here in the 7th parak discusses certain mitzvahs have to be said, right? A lot of mitzvahs involve talking. So some of them have to be done specifically in Lashon HaKodesh, in Hebrew, and some of them can be said in any language. One of the things, the reason it's included in this Mishnah over here is because we're learning Benzion Sotah. And the first thing that can be done in any language is the Parsha Sotah. When the Kohen tells the woman what's going to happen with the Mei Sotah and warns her and makes her swear that she didn't do it, and then warns her that if she did commit adultery, then the Mei Sotah are going to kill her. It could be done in any language. How do you know it could be done in any language? So the Gemara on Lamed Beis, the first thing says, Parsha Sotah Minolan, the top of Lamed Beis, Minolan. D'chsiv Amar HaKohen L'isha, B'chol Lashon Shu Omer. It says the Kohen speaks to the woman. B'chol Lashon Shu Omer. Now, where do you see from this pasuk? The Gemara doesn't elaborate. Where you see from this pasuk that it specifically could be done, it could be in any language. Now, so the Art Scroll brings in footnote number 3 two different sources. The Miri says that it says somewhere else in the parsha, "Ve'ishpio Kohen Amar L'isha." It already said once that he says this of Amar L'isha. So the second, Amar Kohen L'isha, which sounds very similar, that he says to the woman, is superfluous. Why do you need it to repeat a second time? Obviously, it's to tell you a chiddush. The chiddush is that can be done in any language. Rashi amends the Gemara's text to read D'chsiv V'amar El Ha'isha, which is in verse 19. B'chol Lashon shehi shomas, and seemingly Rashi learns it from the fact that it says El Ha'isha, not from the word V'amar. V'amar El Ha'isha, he says to the woman, El Ha'isha. It has to be in a way that to the woman, that she can understand it. That's where Rashi the Meiri learn it from. I'd like to offer a different explanation, and I think it fits into basically what a lot of the Gemara and the Mishnah was talking about. It's not from the word El Ha'isha, and it's not a repetition, like the Meiri says. It's Va'amar, from the word Va'amar. There's a difference. Anytime it says the word Aniyah in the Torah, like the Mishnah on Lamed Beis and Aleph talked about, Aniyah is speaking out loud. We learn from Har Grizim and Har Evel. The Gemara didn't talk about this on Daf Lamed Beis, but Har Grizim and Har Evel, the brachos and the klalos, it says Va'anisa. You speak it, you answer it out loud. You basically chant it out loud. Va'aniyah has to be subsequently done b'lashon HaKodesh, and we learn a couple different things from there. We learn also chalitza has to be done b'lashon HaKodesh, and we learn mikra bikurim has to be done b'lashon HaKodesh, because it says the word va'anisa. Now, what's the difference in the word amira and aniyah? Aniyah means to chant something out loud. Amira is basically to speak to a person privately. I believe that's really what's going on over here. When you speak to someone privately, use the word amira. Amira is basically, when I speak to someone privately, I have a private conversation with someone. Usually when I have a private conversation with someone, it's not a public proclamation. So you want to speak to the person in a language that you both understand. You're trying to connect to the person, tell the person what you want to tell them. It's a personal discussion. When you have a personal discussion with someone, it's usually done in a language that both people understand. However, when there's aniyah, when the Torah says the word aniyah means to chant something out loud. That usually means a public proclamation, which is basically Har Grizim and Har Evel. The brachos and the klalos were done to all of Klal Yisrael. A public proclamation is not so much that people should understand what's going on. It's, when you make a formal announcement or something like that, or you make, here in Israel they have kol koreis over here, and you go to Mea Sharim, they tell you about all the funerals that are going on, or about the hafganot, or the protests that are going on, or about the fast that they're taking upon themselves because the Medina is doing something. So it's usually written in Hebrew, because public proclamations, it's not so much about people understanding. If you don't understand, you'll ask somebody. It's for the importance of the matter. You write it in the holiest language so that it gives more power to what you're saying. And therefore, a public proclamation is not so much done for people to understand what you're saying. It's done for the authority and the power of what the proclamation is doing. And that's why anytime the Torah uses the word aniyah, it's specifically in Hebrew, because that's the lashon of the Torah, the most strongest language in the Torah, which carries all the meaning, the deepest meaning of the Torah. And when it says the word amira, that's a private conversation, and that means that's where the Gemara learns. The Amar right? By Sotah, Va'amar al Isha. Va'amar, it's from the word Va'amar. Va'amar is a private conversation in any language. What's the proof to what I'm saying? The Gemara continues, Alam Beis Amud Beis. The Gemara says, Tanya, in the middle, Shimon and Chaya Omer, Omer Adam Shivcha b'kol namach v'gnusa b'kol ram. When a person speaks about his praises, you shouldn't go and flaunt your praises to everybody. It's arrogance. Unless people are asking you about them, or there's a reason why you're telling them why you're good. And the parsha of Vidu and Maestros, where you talk about the good things that you did, that you're Makayim the Torah, you should say it b'kol namach. And where do we know that? It says Vidu and Meiser. It says Va'amar over there. And Mikra B'Kurim, it says Va'anisa. It says Vanisa. It says Vanisa by that. So the difference is that when you're talking about publicly, playing in private, right? You're supposed to be private when it comes to your praises. It says the word Lashon Amira. When it comes to saying something publicly, the Gemara says it's not Ganuso. You're not supposed to degrade yourself publicly, but at least you're supposed to talk about your pain publicly. But that's an Aniyah. There the Torah uses the word Aniyah, which is a public proclamation. I remember when it comes to talking privately between people, that's the word Amira. That's basically what the Gemara is going on the whole time over here, is that whenever something is it's supposed to be private, you use the word Amira. Whenever something's supposed to be public, you use the Lashon Aniyah. And Aniyah means the strongest language. You're making the strongest public proclamation. And Amira is usually a private conversation. You're supposed to keep it between yourselves, and usually when you do that, you want to explain yourself in the best way possible. So if we said in any language, we'll go forward with this, and we'll talk about this more tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.